Welcome back to another week of FetchQuest. It's been a while, but we're back together, feeling good. Brand new year. I'm not going to say brand new me because I've accepted at this point. I'm going to be the same person forever. Alakai, why don't you go ahead and catch us up?
Okay. So, we began our episode immediately after Zon had attacked the strange woman named Sister Metal, who turned out to be a hag. Big surprise. What followed was a very interesting game of cat and mouse. Sister Metal teleporting all over the Zon Mesmeric estate, repeatedly targeting different people, managing to kill a few servants, Zon's parents, James, Kara. But we've travailed in the end. Some would say that the victory was not worth the price, but we did it. And here we are.
Excellent. So, a little bit of revisions because I went over some stuff and I realized that I was very tired and forgot some things. So, as the fire envelops Sister Metal, she cackles out, "Killing me won't stop his coming. There is always another harbinger." And then she burns to death. Now, Kara's body, who was also, I believe, burned to death due to some spell that wasn't taken down, right? Yeah, it was due to brimstone.
Yeah.
I believe.
Fire
yeah.
pebble.
Yeah. So, Kara's dead body is there, as is Sister Metal's ashen corpse. The only thing that's really left behind that's viable is her hand, one of the pointer finger of which the nail is shaped very much like the keyhole that is in the chest inside of the room. So, what do we want to do?
I will look over her body.
Okay.
And grab the key.
Okay. Yeah, it's very easy just to snap. Essentially, as soon as you touch it, the hand really just sorts of crumbles into ash, leaving just behind the fingernail with the key.
I will then go over to Kara's body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stick the potion of whatever the fuck it is.
Resurrection. Shady and not only misspelling, but in every single appearance. Yep.
That's all I got.
Cool.
So
you pour this potion between her lips and start hoping for a miracle. So, Kara, you open your eyes and you're seated in a chair. In front of you, behind you, all around you is shadow. It's almost like you're sitting underneath a spotlight, but surrounded by shadow. After a moment, 7 red pairs of eyes slowly blink into existence, and they're watching you.
Are my feet on the ground?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, you're sitting on some sort of platform. It's a thick, solid platform. It's kind of odd-looking ground, though. It seems to be almost iridescent.
Can I get up? Am I not? I'm not tied to the chair, am I?
No, you're not tied to the chair. Yeah, you easily stand up.
14 eyes. If I move around, they follow me.
The eyes are following, yes, and the spotlight also follows you. However, as you walk, you see sort of starting to appear into the light, almost like something very sharp curved down. And then a voice speaks. Your job is done.
Excuse me?
You've done what we've asked, what we needed.
I didn't do anything. I'm dead, I assume.
Well, somewhere in between, more like. But you did better than we could have hoped for.
What exactly are you referring to?
You're breaking the chains, Kara, and making it a little bit easier for others to break their own chains. And yet, you don't want to be done, do you? You want to go back.
I do, yes.
Why?
I want to see this through to the end. There is a particular masked man that I would love to kick the ass of. And I don't think I can do that if I'm dead.
Well, don't think of it as dead. Think of it as taking a rest that you've earned. You don't need to fight anymore. Sure, the host may be an individual who is asking to get their ass kicked, but that job is for someone else now. Why should you go back?
I'm not sure they can actually do it. Only there's only two of them now that know about the host. Franziska doesn't know shit. And whoever comes after me probably won't know shit either.
True. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Well, that was disadvantage. That was the disadvantage total.
I mean, either way, it's going to take the higher one.
No. Persuasion?
Yep. They seem to mull it over. The eyes kind of move back away and sort of point towards each other and almost seem to mull over this decision. So you begin to see a throw me a D100 actually, please. Okay, interesting. So you see a golden light start to appear below you. And soon an opening large enough for you to step through appears. The eyes turn to you and say, fine. If you wish to keep on fighting, then fight. However, next time we may not let you go so easily.
so much work to do. Step through the hole, I guess.
Sure. So as you step through, you feel your eyes open up again. Meanwhile, about a second after Zahn finishes pouring the resurrection potion into Kara's mouth, you hear her bones crack. The skin starts to grow back on her, but you see that her form is bending and twisting, growing shorter, growing a bit more sturdy, until the Kara that you knew and recognized is no longer there. Instead, lying there on the ground in Kara's clothes is a female hill dwarf with a long beard. And Kara, you wake up.
Who the fuck glued hair to me? What the hell, you guys?
Yeah, alright. Just get up, we have things to do.
Well,
First of all,
Zahn gets up
stand
and
up.
walks out the room.
No, I'm fucking following him. You asshole! You had an eldritch fucking being living in your house and you didn't want to, like, share that with anybody? You recognized her off the fucking paper and you didn't think to say, hey guys, I think I know where this fucking is. No, you just go in and you fucking swing at her? What the hell? Do I notice how short I am, by the way?
You notice that everyone around you is significantly taller, and while Zahn seems to be walking extremely fast.
God.
By the way, go ahead and update your stats and speed
Yeah.
and all that.
you saw there? Just looking at this sleep.
Behind us. I'm gonna turn around. Why are you so far up? Why are you up there? Did you feed me something weird? Have I shrunk?
The Mesveric
Ask
gave you a
Zahn.
potion. I did not think it would. You are alive, so
Which is a
that
good
is
thing.
something.
Is there a mirror?
There are quite a few mirrors, yes, but you can really only see your head in these mirrors.
Fuck. What the? I'm gonna, like, hop. Did he feed me that? Okay. Why do it?
You are a dwarf.
Oh, that's fun. That's great.
I mean, you pulled it off very well.
It's gonna take so long to get places now. Oh shit. I have so much more health now. Oh, shit.
It's not all bad.
Oh my god! I thought I opened the wrong fucking sheet for a second. I did open the correct sheet, okay. Okay. Alright, gonna have to deal with this later.
going ahead and putting this in the "this is trauma I'm gonna ignore" category.
For now, it goes in the bag with everything else.
Can I check to see if Kara is still a if she still has some of the like paler complexion or potentially
Yeah.
the fangs?
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Don't you dare stick your finger in my fucking mouth, I swear to God. Fangs or not, I will bite you.
At a distance, 12.
So just kind of checking her over. She doesn't seem as pale, but she's also an entirely different race at this point. So you're not sure what would qualify as like.
The beard's getting in the way. I can't see
Yeah.
her mouth.
Can I poke the inside of my mouth? Am I a vampire still?
You do
or
not
no?
feel any fangs.
Ah,
It'll be fine.
I'm mortal.
sure it will be fine. You're what?
I am not. I don't have pointy teeth. I don't have pointy teeth.
I'm going to go
Oh.
check on Mesveric. If you excuse me for a moment.
People
Just...
food. I don't have to eat people. I can eat people food.
Oh, don't get to. So, Alakai, Franziska, you're going on over to
Yep.
Zon. Zon, where are you heading?
He went to his parents' room and he's going to open up the chest.
Cool. Yeah. So you kind of kneel before the chest. It gives off sort of this unnatural, cold feeling to it. When you slide the nail into the lock, the nail itself clicks sideways, and the lid of the chest pops open a little bit.
Open it up.
Cool. So inside, you see first a you recognize this as the stone on a leather string that she kept using to teleport. Laying there, you also see a sort of ash gray vase that she had on her side, and also let me go pull her up. So I want to make sure I got everything. Like I said, I had everything saved at different spots because I'm an idiot. And you also see a black sack made of what you can assume is stitched flesh sitting at the bottom. Sticking out of the sack are 2 scrolls, and you can feel the energy vibrating off of them from here.
All right. I am just going to throw that stuff all into the bag of holding.
Cool.
Because I don't know what to do with any of that. And there's nothing else in the chest.
Not that you can tell. It's a nice chest.
How big is the chest?
It's standard chest size, although reaching in, it does feel like it has a little bit more room inside of it than you would expect.
Yeah. Just not small enough to put into a bag of holding.
Fortunately, no.
I'll just close it back up.
Cool.
Take the finger key back out and put that in the bag of holding.
Sure. So as soon as you remove the keyhole shifts itself back into place, and you can hear the chest locking itself again.
Cool. All right. Whenever Francesca feels like showing up, she can.
Sure. So it's at this point that you'd walk in, Franziska, as Zon is locking up the chest.
Just, I can see him like locking it up, right?
Yeah, he's more in the motion of standing up from the chest.
Anything of value in there?
I suppose things that I am not equipped to tell you what they are.
That's fair. That is quite fair. Just gonna glance over to the bed and then back to him. I'm sorry that things turned out the way they did.
Don't be. As much as they were my parents, I have much been already in the state of mind of knowing that they were most likely already gone. And whatever I needed to do, I need to do. Unfortunately, it worked out like this. In a much more annoying fashion.
That is very mature of you, Zon.
Sure. If you wish to feel like it is that way, then sure. There are things that need to be done. And he just sort of begins to walk out the room.
Sure.
As he's leaving, she's going to just ponder for a moment and just, would you like them back?
How? If I'm thinking
They're-
of the spell that you're thinking of, there's no way that you can reassemble their broken and busted bodies and somehow put them back into a flesh-like form and bring them back. Even then, whatever curse was on them, I don't know if that'll be gone. And they could still be husks of their former selves, useless to anyone, wallowing away on their hoard of gold that they had stolen upon themselves off the backs of others.
That is a way of looking at it, I suppose. I have just, in my travels, researched and heard of certain tales of magics capable of bringing back those who had merely a small piece of themselves left in this world.
And you could do that.
I can attempt it. It would be costly.
That's what she said.
This is more in the realm of monetarily costly. Though, hearing you speak of them, it seems like you are more or less at peace with the outcome.
One moment.
Oh boy.
Sure. There's just things that need to be done, and I'm not worried about it now. If only a tiny piece needs to be sought after or done to do this, then we should have any number of time to do so.
That is true.
Whether they lived or died here, they were going to be stone husks for who knows how long.
I had just figured I would offer. You did rescue Miss Allday, after all.
Mm-hmm.
I owe you for that.
You're welcome, I suppose. I just have use of her.
I suppose that is the nature of Morath.
And they tried like to change. He walks out.
Cool. Alakai, anything else you want to do in this room?
I'm going to walk over to the chest,
Sure.
and I'm going to just bring a hand over the top of my hat to activate the comprehend languages
Sure.
and try to see if there's any writing on here.
As far as you can tell, there is not.
Okay. Just gonna just kind of frown and deactivate it, just because there'd be something on there. And then start making her way out. Just takes one more glance at the bed full of rubble before going and closing the door behind her.
Cool. And so while they're talking about using Kara as a tool, Kara and Damikos, what are y'all doing?
Still looking at what I can see in the mirror, like the top of my head,
Yeah,
occasionally jumping.
dwarf, 100%, all the way through.
So much hair.
You can still alter yourself, right? To what extent? Because if you walk into your house just suddenly like this, I'm sure your parents would have a great discussion.
I didn't even notice I was a vampire.
Yeah, but you didn't walk in with a beard.
I may not have spell slots available to me to do alter self right now.
Well, this has turned into quite the day.
Hey, Damikos, are you standing by a mirror?
Yep.
So your reflection is like, you kind of look down at her, and then as your eyes go up, you see that your reflection is still looking down at her. And then it's going to look at you. And it's going to say, you know, if we didn't allow ourselves to be held on such a tight leash, this wouldn't have happened. Now, Kara, you can't hear this, and as far as you can tell, Damikos' reflection is behaving normally.
I didn't drink the crazy person juice.
Well, I mean, that was Eric's potion of resurrection, so
I
you
didn't
kind of
drink on purpose. That was fed to me.
Just gonna kind of keep looking into the mirror, not say anything.
I mean, it's not bad. Probably do without the beard. I think they would rather have me alive than, a burnt pile of ashes.
That is fair.
So I want to ask my brother something.
And so you guys hear Zahn and Francisco walking up, and Damikos, as you're looking around, seeing the little bits of fire, destroyed walls, just kind of chaos all around, you get that feeling you haven't felt in a while. The feeling that you had when you burned down the inn upon entering Moroth.
To be fair, this time I was using
lightning.
lightning.
Fair, but you still feel the urge to burn it and just burn it all.
Going to just kind of push that feeling to the side for the moment. Time and place.
And the time is now.
Fireball!
Let's the group rejoins back up together, now with a significantly shorter companion.
Is my jacket like fucking?
Every bit of your clothing and equipment has shrunk down with you.
So I'm still. Am I still attuned to the armor?
Yep.
Oh no. Okay, well that's not terrible. At least I don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
There's a
Gara, point of order. Where's your dragon?
Now open my backpack.
See, so polymorph would have dropped. So Noodle's not in your backpack.
There are dead bodies in this house. I'm assuming he's having a snack. I'm gonna go look for Noodle.
Sure. Yeah. Throw a survival check to see how long it takes you to track him down.
Nope, survival still only +1.
So it does take you a little bit of some time to find him, but eventually you do catch him in the kitchen. So the first rooms you check are the rooms covered in blood and gore, and there's no sign that he's even been in there. When you go downstairs on the first floor, you do see him sitting in the kitchen with drawers that have been ripped out. You see silverware scattered all over the ground, and he is just having a feast.
That was my second guess. If not fresh meat, fresh metal. The rest of the place is trashed. Fine.
But you also notice that he's about your size now.
Oh. Like because I got smaller or because he got bigger, or both?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. He's a baby dragon. He's growing real quick, and you're also shrinking. So.
Oh, Noodle, you got so big, but I also got so small. Oh, that's okay. It'll speed up the process of being able to like have Noodle as a mount.
He doesn't really seem to have noticed you walk in. He is just gorging himself on the silverware.
And pull out a dagger from the bag. Noodle.
He turns to look at you, and he's got like a soup spoon hanging out of his mouth, and he kind of slurps it down and then comes charging. Make an athletics or an acrobatics check to not be knocked over.
Acrobatics is still better. Why is it only +2 now? Regardless, acrobatics is better. I'll have to fix that.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, you managed to kind of dodge out of the way and usher him up the stairs with the group.
Good boy. I'm gonna feed him the dagger I pulled out. Good
That's-
large boy. You're
Chomps
getting
down on it.
so big.
So now the group is fully together.
I can't carry him anymore. Oh,
So you are standing in this ruined hallway. Stench of death still hanging heavy in the air.
We should all rest. I need to go speak to my workers. You should all stay here for the night. We have things to do tomorrow.
Very well. Zahn, if you'd like, I can help with some of the cleanup from the bodies.
I'll get to what I need you to do in a moment. But is that agreeable?
So just cutting in real
Sure.
quick. When he says, I'll tell you what I need you to do in a moment, Domikos, you can see your reflection out of the corner of your eye kind of go like in the mirror.
Should be agreeable, of course.
And you too?
I suppose staying here would not be too bad. I may end up having some business to take care of, but thank you for the offer.
gesture at Franziska. I mean, she was staying with me, and now I look like this, so I can't go home yet.
That
Sure.
would raise questions.
I suppose it doesn't matter where you rest. I just need your attention for some time tomorrow, once we are rested. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Good.
I can as well.
Yes.
Alright. Then go wherever you wish to go. I need to speak to my workers. Yeah, he'll head out to where everybody is stationed outside in a cluster.
So it looks like most of the servants have, after the fighting kind of got increased there with walls blowing out, did end up leaving. So there's really only a handful of servants out there.
Well, I suppose this makes it a bit easier. You all I suppose I should have thought about this before I started speaking.
You want us to start cleaning?
No, that won't be necessary. The Masveric household is no more. You all can go home. You'll still be paid. You can go work among the shops if you wish. But you do not need to return here.
Is everything okay? Are you relocating?
In time, most likely. But for right now, there's no need to come back here. And everybody that left, do let them know if you can.
So the group kind of murmurs amongst themselves, and they kind of look at you, and some people are peering past you into the destroyed house, and then slowly they all just start to gather up in little groups and head off.
I'll wait till all of them leave.
It doesn't take too long.
Then I'll go back inside.
Cool. And while Zon's firing all of his employees, what's everyone else doing?
So I'm going to just, when he's like, find a spot, Francisco's just going to walk over here and then go through the hole in the wall. Kind of walk over to where this, like, kind of red bench is and take a seat for a second.
Sure.
And she's kind of just like counting on her fingers a little bit. You see her like start to count and just shake her head, go back to like 0, just kind of like mouthing some things.
Okay.
Question, Grim,
Wait,
about
perfect.
how much longer would it be until like nightfall from prior engagement I have?
A few hours. Not very long. Maybe 3 hours.
I will make my way down to the atrium area and wait for Zon to finish speaking with his workers.
Okay.
Then when he comes in, I'll say, I will let you know, Zon, I do have a prior engagement to be at this evening, but I can return after that.
Like I said, you can do what you wish. I just need you all here back before tomorrow morning.
Very well.
All right. Kara, what are you and Noodle doing?
Take one of the few rooms that someone hasn't been murdered in.
Excellent. Not a lot of rooms, actually.
I
But-
know.
I mean, there's the doll room.
No.
Then your choices are even more limited.
Yeah, I'm not going back in there ever again.
Cool. So finding a room to hunker down in.
Yep.
All right. So Zon, yeah, you and Damikos talk. It looks like Kara and Noodle are finding a place to sleep in. Franziska's nowhere to be seen. Presumably already found a place to sleep.
Before I leave, Zon, is there anything you wish or you need for me to do at the immediate moment?
Immediately, no. Which is why I need everyone rested. I assume that you and Kara do not have the spell power that I require right now.
It depends on the spell power you need.
Well, I don't believe you have the spell to begin with, but I need someone who can carry something very large for a long distance of time.
James.
Yes. But there's more to it that I'll explain later.
Do you want to just leave the blood where it is?
For now. It's not going to matter later.
Very well.
All right. And so, Domicus, you're heading out right now?
Yep, I'm beginning my trek back to my place.
Excellent. So, Franziska, anything you want to do?
Yes. Having counted out the amount of words, Francisca is going to use her last level 3 spell slot to cast Sending. And I am going to send a message to Lord Falamir. Just, there has been a development. Zemazverik was attacked by a hag. The Zarek boy survived. Ode was turned into a dwarf. What should I do?
You get one
As
word
soon-
back. What?
So you get back. As soon as darkness falls, I was planning on making my way there anyway.
I don't have a spell slot to reply back to that, so just drums her fingers a little nervously on the seat. Just, it'll be fine.
Cool. So, Car Noodle, anything you want to do?
I'm just deciding what to do about this.
Fantastic. All right. Zon, anything you want to do before we swap over to Domicos heading home for his loving family?
Nope. I'm just gonna. Well, since everybody seems to be leaving or just not really doing anything in the home, he's just going to make sure that there's no one else here. And once that is done, he is just going to sit in a chair in the same room as James and just sort of sit there. Not really resting, but not... He's resting, but not sleeping, basically.
Cool. All right, understood. Excellent. So, Domicos, you're on your way back when the messenger does come up to you and go, "Oh, I was just looking for you. Your father wanted me to hand you this." He hands you a note and then runs off. And it's a note from your dad saying, "Come back immediately."
Cool. I'm heading there anyways.
Yep. So you do make it home. No further instances popping up on your way home. And your father is waiting for you in the study.
I enter into the study since he's expecting me. Good evening, Father.
It is evening. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, obviously, I received your letter.
Yes, it's rendezvous. So, Any updates?
You could say there is a significant update.
Oh.
The Masveric parents let's just say it's been taken care of.
That is good news. Nice to see that my son can succeed at something without his father having to hold his hand.
It was sort of unplanned, but it was interesting to say the least.
Well, that doesn't matter. They are dead. Yes?
Stone dust, you could say.
I take it you did not use the poison.
That I did not.
I will take it back.
So Damokos will pull out the poison. Offer it back to him.
He's going to accept it, open a drawer, kind of drop it in, and slam the door shut.
Shit.
You can hear the vial rattling around. It sounds like there's a lot of vials in this drawer. He's going to say, and what of their son? Is he still alive?
Yes.
Good. Now, how do you plan to deal with him? Stop him from stealing your throne.
I have a few ideas on that. All of which do involve the Velesteros. Give me a moment.
Sure. So, I think it's time you were treated with the respect you deserve. You're a man now. I cannot deny it. So, I will not be using my contacts to make this job any easier for you. You've taken the initiative and wiped out an enemy's home. Not the parents. Although, I've heard the estate is in a disheveled manner, and there's a rumor floating around about the state of the Masveric name.
Which I'm not certain on the name at the moment, but what you heard about the manor is true. I didn't have to use the poison because
You tricked him into killing his own parents. Now that
No trick needed.
is
He pulled the
fiendish.
trigger himself
Well,
in his
still,
own way.
he's gonna reach to one of his lower drawers and pull out a large bottle. You recognize this as his favored drink. Exactly, it is an old, expensive bottle of scotch. You've only seen him break out this bottle on a few other occasions. Although at the time you didn't realize what they were for, though now you realize it was most likely for confirmations of assassinations or other shady deals like that.
Yeah.
And he pulls out 2 glasses and pours you some and pours himself some. Says, "To the rising of the Grey Castle name." Clinks his glass against yours and drinks.
I'll drink as well.
So it's sort of a spicy, it's sort of a sweet burn that goes down your throat, sort of warms you up a little bit. You actually receive 20 points of healing. And yeah, you're feeling pretty warm, feeling pretty good. He puts the cork back in and puts it back in the drawer and shuts it. He takes your glass, takes his glass, puts it on the edge of his desk, and the servant comes in, picks them up, and leaves. So, when you say you have several plans in motion, I urge you to reconsider, settle on 1, maybe 2 plans, 3 at the most. Because if you think too much about the possibilities, you will overwhelm yourself. And it's a lot easier to drown in a sea of half-failed plans.
A nod. That is good advice, as always. However, each plan is sort of independent yet work in conjunction with one another.
Be careful not to make things too complicated, Damokos. You could easily get trapped within the web yourself. But do you have any more news for me?
Yes, Zahn is going to be requesting my assistance for something. I don't know what yet, which is why I think the state of his name will somewhat be unveiled at that point, possibly.
Interesting. Well, since you've shown such great initiative, I will be taking a step back. You're aware of what you need to do. I trust that not only will you succeed, but now the expectations have risen a little bit. Do not fall, Damokos. All right.
Which is why I would like your advisement on the ideas I have.
Oh, please.
It's well known that Velesteros cannot be used against the Queen.
True.
But what if it was to be utilized as an additional shield against a specific someone?
Are you proposing setting a hit up on Zahn before you go to attack the Queen?
That is one possibility. The other is merely that they protect the queen from Zahn?
You would have to build Zahn as a credible threat. Are you familiar with the Golden Harbor Inn?
If I've passed by it once or twice.
Well, inside of that inn, some of the Queen's guardsmen work. If they were to somehow learn of a certain plot to kill the Queen, they would be on high alert. Might make it significantly more difficult.
Interesting. That is certainly an idea as well. What do you think about just a straight hit on Zahn?
Well, although the assassins here are quite proficient, their timing can be less than preferable, especially if you use the jesters. So, what I'd recommend is if you do plan on filing a hit on Zahn, make it rather quickly. Make it within a few hours of performing the hit on the Queen. That will give it enough time to process through, and that would give enough time for one, maybe even a few assassins to go after Zahn.
So you are saying Queen first, Zahn second.
My recommendation is this. Zahn seems to be strong, but he's also very headstrong. People that tend to think that they are in the right underestimate everyone around them. They may consider themselves godlike or chosen by the gods in some aspect. However, they are so blinded by their own radiance, they assume everyone else around them is just the same. They never expect a dagger from their closest friends. But he seems to be a strong and formidable person. So I would not recommend facing him head on. If anything, I would, if I were confident in the abilities of myself and my companions, alert some people at the inn, maybe pass it down as a rumor so that the guards are on high alert, cut through them, let Zahn kill the queen. The assassins, because in the heat of the moment there's been no time to officially announce a ruler, go after Zahn. I wouldn't expect the assassins to be able to kill Zahn, but in the final moments where he's weak, that's where I would take his life. But if you're going to follow that route, it is integral that Zahn believes you are on his side 100%. He must see you as his right-hand man. Anything else I can do for you?
Yes, I had the thought. I'm not sure how viable it is. Of speaking to the Queen myself.
It's very difficult to procure a
Yes.
meeting with the Queen, especially with the banquet coming up rather soon.
Either way, it seems the inn would be serving the same purpose as that. So,
Very true. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work?
I believe that was everything I had for the moment.
Then you are dismissed.
Thank you for the drink.
Yes. Thank you for succeeding. And he is just going to go ahead
Yep.
and pull a stack of papers out from the desk, put them on top, and start to read through them.
Cool. I'm going to leave and go to the library for a moment.
Cool. Yep, you're in the library. No one else is in here.
There's always a servant.
I mean, yeah, but they don't count. Not in the Grey Castle house.
It's true. The book that he was reading before is on the shelf, right?
Yep. So in this library, there are some mirrors around, and as you're looking over, you can see at the corner of your eye the reflection in the mirror going, "Yes, do it."
I'm going to run my finger along the spine for a moment.
Okay.
I'm going to say, possible things could have been a lot different if I had had a little more capability in the arcane.
Well, there's no shortage of teachers out there, is there? Besides, haven't you already bound yourself to some unknowable entity? Or are you seeking a more immediate path? If you're looking for the more immediate path, the reflection is going to hold the book up. It's in here.
And this is what my father uses.
He
Because it's clear he has an iron wall around his mind. I'm very aware of that.
Well, I'm just another aspect of you, Damokos. I know what you know. But I would assume it's what he uses. He knows so much. You think he relies on just the spies he's placed all through the city? This book could answer a lot of questions for us.
I'm going to do one thing before I act on the book. I'm going to go back to his study.
Okay. The door is shut.
I'm going to do the whatever Grey Castle call a servant over motion.
Sure. So it's really not even much of a movement, just kind of nodding your head towards one of the tapestries on the wall, and the servant is at your side.
Take a piece of paper and write, addressing it to my father. I know you're busy. There is one detail you should know. Leave it at that.
Okay.
And motion for him to deliver it.
So the servant takes it and then does a careful knock on the door. You hear their father's voice say, "Enter." The servant goes in. And the servant comes kind of shuffling out, kind of head bowed, and slips behind the tapestry. And you hear your father say, "All right, Damokos, what is it?"
I'm going to open the door, step in. We wanted to know initially who escorted us down from the north.
Yes.
Lord Falamir. And I am studying him for his reaction.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Come on, roll 20. Damn it! Okay.
His face is stone. Falamir?
Yes.
I would quite enjoy meeting this Falamir. You may set up a meeting for us. Do send a messenger to let me know when you'd prefer to have the meeting, and I'll send you available times. I understand tomorrow you're busy with your plan, but at some point.
More importantly, obviously the things have changed up in the north.
So you keep saying. And I imagine things must be drastic if this Lord Falamir has left his home court. Is he a potential rival to the throne? If so, kill him.
I honestly have no idea if he is or is not a rival.
Find out. Anything else?
That was it. You listened to me, so I figured I should just return the favor and give you a nugget of information that you wanted.
And I appreciate that, Damokos.
And I will leave. And I'll go back and I will open the book.
Sure. So you open the book. Do you read Velirine script?
I can read all languages because.
That's right. Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Yep.
Cool. So.
Interesting. It's Velirine script.
So there's no title page. There's no title in the front of the book. No markings on the outside of the book at all. But when you open it up and kind of flip through, this is a journal of Curus. And one of the pages you flipped through mentions a vault. And the descriptions of the land markings make it exceedingly close to the castle where the queen lives. Now, this journal isn't, the outside looks to be like, I forgot what it's called when they repair the books. The outside is repaired, but inside there are missing pages. It looks like this is an incomplete journal, but it is a journal written by Curus. And it starts out very much like a normal journal, just keeping down notes of like important things that happened through the day. Yeah, thank you. Restored. It's just from what you're reading, it looks to be like some vault locations, some mentions of Velirne's infrastructure, just some mentions of the day. Very simple, straightforward, almost militaristic in its writing, unlike the convoluted ramblings and drawings of Theobrin.
Interesting.
So yeah, so add first part of Curus's journal into your inventory if you want to keep it.
I mean, I'd love to keep it, but I have a feeling the dad would notice. So
Probably.
I am going to put it back on the shelf exactly where it was, how it was. And I'm going to browse, opening just a few other books.
Throw people off
Sure.
the scent. I got you.
Be like, oh, oops, I didn't mean to look at that. And then before I leave the room, I'm going to look at the reflection. Color me intrigued with your offer.
I'm sure we'll find more power in there. Let's head out tomorrow. And then the reflection's just going to stiffen up and look like your normal reflection again.
Then I will head out if no one else in the Grey Castle estate stops me, like mom or sister or anyone.
No, oddly enough, it looks like the Grey Castle estate is pretty empty. For a non-suspicious reason. But yeah, you're heading back to the Masverick estate, or what was
Yep.
once the Masverick estate.
Yeah, there's still a Mesmeric.
Cool. So, each of you find your rooms. You lay down for the night, and you level up.
I can actually
But-
roll my health now.
And so, Zon.
God damn it. Let me roll my health first. God, where'd my freaking character sheet go?
That's not bad.
That is great. 137. And now I do smites on every hit. Wow.
Nice. Cool.
Okay.
So, Zon, you kind of get into your bed and close your eyes, and then almost immediately open them up, and you're sitting in a rather ornate chair in the host's ballroom.
Uh-huh.
The host is, you can see the host. He seems to be talking to a few of the mask-wearing dancers. And then he turns and sees you and starts to approach. Welcome back, Zon. It's nice to see you free of those captive influences you were under for so long.
Captive influences?
I may be using the wrong words. It's rather difficult to communicate in certain aspects of this realm.
Sure. Why am I back here then? We haven't accomplished anything yet.
But you've lost a lot. Your companions are falling, Zon.
Whether they are under your grip, or whatever you wish to call it, or not, they can be persuaded in the right direction for what I want them to do. What I know is the right thing to do.
Zon, I have complete and utter faith in your abilities. But there's sort of like, there's a slight like almost wince that comes out, and his right hand sort of itches up, almost like instinctively grabbing at a wound, and then quickly lowers back down. There is an influence undermining your party, Zon. And if this influence is not stopped, then I'm afraid your party will fail, and this realm as we know it will cease to exist. Perhaps even worse than that. I'm not able to tell what damages could be done if you do not succeed at your task.
How do I stop this influence then?
I'm afraid that this influence is beyond even my own sight. There are certain things that were once clear to me, but now are not. But you are loyal, Zon. And I wish to reward that loyalty.
All right.
I haven't had a person as dedicated to the truth and right way that this world should be run is you. You truly understand that in the long run, sacrifices have to be made. I have 2 gifts to offer you. Zon, you may choose one. And he's going to hold out his left and right hand, and in each hand, a pin is going to appear. One is going to be of a set of feathered wings, and the other one is going to be a snarling wolf's head. Now be careful what you pick. These gifts are strong.
Literally gonna flip a coin. Without responding, he reaches a hand out and picks up the wings.
Nice. Now, this gift you've chosen, the snarling wolf's head disappears, and he lets his hands go back to his side. The gift you have chosen will attract darkness like moths to a flame. However, I do not doubt your strength, Zon. I do believe that you can grow. But strength does not come without sacrifice. Remember that. Keep pushing forward. Is there anything you'd like to discuss before you wake?
I have to look over my notes real fast. There's many things. Now that I'm the only one here, I suppose it's good to know as much as I can.
Now, I will warn you, before you do ask me questions, there are certain limitations that I have to follow through.
I figured.
But there is an entity that does not have the same restrictions as me. Open the scrolls, Zon. Hidden within them is a map. And that map will lead you to an old friend.
Can you tell me about this old friend? Who he is? They is?
They are old. And most likely will not survive for very much longer.
Alright.
They're knowledgeable, though. Their memory may have become a bit rusty with age. He sort of chuckles a little bit. But they are still sharp enough to be able to answer any large questions you have and should be able to point you in the next direction. Remember, you
Alright.
must put together the sword.
Of course. And I'll
But
leave you with just one question. What is this entity of 7 eyes?
It destroyed Velirine. If left unchecked, it could prove disastrous. Be careful. It has caused many men stronger than your party to fall.
Is that what has been chipping away at the others?
I cannot be sure. My vision is rather limited when it comes to this. Be careful. If you've seen it, its corruption has already begun. Protect them, Zon. Protect them from themselves. And everybody wakes up, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for joining us for another week of FetchQuest. We'll hope to see you next week. You all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Wear your fucking mask. Get the goddamn vaccine both times. And yeah, anybody got anything they want to promote? No? All right. Well, you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe.